handy viewer, such as you are, and welcome to this, the first Don't Touch the Beard of 2018, in which I video, document, and then talk nonsense over the top of games of Guild Ball after my brand new fancy intro sequence. So yes, apologies that this episode is maybe a little bit later than I would have liked, but as you can probably tell, I've been a little busy working on it. So, this episode of Don't Touch the Beard was recorded at SteamCon 2017, in which I take my union with hashtag ManCrushRage against friend of the channel, Jamie Perkins, and his Obulus. Now, unfortunately, I forgot a lot of my camera equipment at SteamCon, which means that the angle for this game will be what we refer to in the film industry, because, you know, that's a thing that I'm part of, honest, as a Dutch angle, in that it is kind of bent all over the place. That, and people kept walking up and poking the camera and going, "Ooh, what's this?" And I tell them it's a camera and it's recording. Can you not do that? Excuse me. So yes, things. We used the guild identity cards. Jamie took Ghost Shot, and I took the one that meant when you die, influence goes off onto one of your friends. I'll put a graphic on screen so you can see proper names and stuff. I'm just really excited that that book thing worked. So this game was recorded with the previous OPD and not the one that was released on the 17th of December, so we blind revealed captains and mascots to one another. So that's Rage and Strongbox for me, and Obulus and Dirge for Jamie. So in what was a running theme for the weekend, I gave Jamie a special edition SteamCon beard dice. He then promptly rolled a 6 on the initiative check with it, or the kick receive check, whatever you want to call it. Morticians elected to kick off. We then drafted our players, so I went with Rookie Fangtooth. I believe at this point he was a level 3. Jamie went with Skulk. I took Minx, he took Ghast. I took Graves, or rather he took Graves and I took Grace. Very confusing, very similar. My final pick, I went with Mist, and he went with Brain Pan and Memory. So he's got a very nice mix of 2-inch and Control, and I've gone for the weirdest Union team ever. This is bound to go well. So in time-honoured tradition, Obulus kicks off for the Morticians and just attempts to dink it over the halfway line. So my turn 1 allocation, that is 4 for Rage, 1 for Strongbox, none for Minx, 1 for Grace, 3 for Mist, and 2 for Rookie Fangtooth. Jamie in turn puts 7 on Obulus, none on Dirge, 2 on Brain Pan, 1 on Skulk, 1 on Ghast, and 1 on Graves. So Fangtooth gets me under the way, sprinting towards the ball, snapping it to, and then unsnapping it so that it can be snapped by Strongbox. Skulk activates, so Memory does the memory dance. He then jogs and puts up Horrific Odor, meaning that any kick I take within 6 inches costs an additional point of influence. I activate Strongbox, who unsnaps the ball, snapping the ball to Grace. He then has himself a happy little jog up the pitch. Ghast activates, sprinting forward, and Memory does the memory dance. Rage sprints forward. I then put Quick Time on Mist, dodging him 2 inches forward. Dirge activates, so Memory does the memory dance, and then Dirge has himself a happy little jog. So whilst jogs are happy, Minx's charge forward is furious, meaning it's free. Haha, see what I did there? Graves activates and tools up Obulus, making him a tool. And he has himself a miserable jog forward, being the horrible little goth that he is. I activate Grace, and due to Blessed, she generates 2 additional points of influence. She then has herself a happy little jog forward, seeing as everyone else is. She might as well join in. She then puts that 2 influence to good use and puts Quick Foot onto Mist, giving him an extra +2/+2 move. She then passes the ball to Mist successfully and banks the point of momentum. Jamie in turn activates Obulus, and Memory does the memory dance. Not to be outdodged, Obulus himself has a Shadow-like, dodging forward 2 inches. He then declares a charge against poor old Fangtooth. So that first attack is attack 9 versus 2s and 1s, triggering Glut Mass, ignoring all of the attack. Alright, let the shanking begin. Attack 5 versus 2s and 1s, 4 net hits is a knockdown. Sit down, fatty. Next attack, attack 6 versus 2s and 1s, 4 net hits is a momentous 3 damage. Next one, attack 6 versus 2s and 1s, 4 net hits is again a momentous 3 points of damage. Attack 6, 2s and 1s, 4 net hits, momentous 3 damage. Painful. Last attack, attack 6, 2s and 1s, 4 net hits is again momentous 3 damage, leaving him on 14? Ugh. I activate Mist, and as there is a Sulpician model within 6 inches in the form of Grace, he will dodge forward 2 inches. Now, using that additional movement from Grace's Quickfoot, I sprint Mist forward into goal range, and paying the additional point of influence thanks to Skulk and the point of momentum from the successful pass earlier, take a shot on goal, and successfully kick the ball straight off the back of the pitch. The ball is then centred in the centre spot, in the centre of the pitch, and scattered randomly. It goes straight to Ghast. Well done, you successfully passed the ball just to your right rather than shooting at goal. Well done, Mist. So, Brain Pan activates, and Memory does the memory dance. And Brain Pan himself has a creepy little jog forward. So Brain Pan uses Puppet Show to make Memory dodge forwards 2 inches. And he uses Puppet Show again to make Memory take an attack against Fangtooth. So that is attack 7 versus 2s and 1s. 5 net hits is momentous 3 damage and a momentous 1 damage. So at the end of turn 1, Morticians have more than enough momentum to automatically win initiative and elect to go first. Mortician allocation for turn 2 then, that is 6 on Obulus, none on Dirge, 1 for Brain Pan, 1 for Skulk, 3 for Ghast, and 2 for Graves. My Union in turn then, 4 for Rage, 1 for Strongbox, 2 for Minx, 1 for Grace, none for Mist, as he has failed me, and 3 for Fangtooth. So Ghast gets us underway for turn 2, and of course Memory does the memory dance. So Ghast unsnaps the ball, which I believe then snaps to Skulk. I can't quite remember. But yeah, there's a ball. It goes somewhere on the pitch. You can see it. More importantly, Ghast charges into Rage. By importantly, I of course mean sadly. Poor Rage. So that's attack 9 versus 4s and 1s. 4 net hits is a momentous knockdown. Second attack, attack 5 versus 3s and 1s now. 2 net hits is a double push. So I activate Strongbox, who jogs into Obulus's melee zone. Obulus then in turn takes an unpredictable dodge away from the little tortoise. Strongbox then tries to buy a knockdown effectively on Memory, so he is attack 1 versus the 5s and 0s of Memory, and he gets nothing, because maths and probability is a thing. Still, probably the right move to do. I mean, Strongbox has got a knockdown on 1, and knockdown is, for me, probably the best way of dealing with Memory. Didn't work, though. Obulus activates, and that is a Memory Dance and a Shadow-like, respectively. Obulus buys an attack on Fangtooth, that is attack 7 versus 2s and 1s, which does nothing but trigger Gluttonous Mass, meaning that the first attack is ignored. Next attack, attack 7 versus 2s and 1s, 5 net hits is 3 points of damage. The onslaught continues, attack 7 versus 2s and 1s, 5 net hits again, and another 3 points of damage, and another 3 points of damage. Attack 7 versus 2s and 1s, 6 net hits this time, a momentous 2 damage and a momentous dodge. Next one, attack 7 versus 2s and 1s, once again, 6 net hits, momentous 2 and a momentous dodge. That is enough to take out poor Fangers. So the Morticians are off the mark on the scoreboard, so that is Union 0, Morticians 2 due to an Obulus takeout on rookie Fangtooth. I make use of my GIC card Honour Amongst 3 Thieves? Thieves, to move the 3 influence, or 2 of the 3 influence, from Fangtooth onto Grace, as she's the only one nearby that hasn't activated. He's not done yet, however. Obulus has himself a little jog, and now he starts on the Tortoise. So that's attack 7 versus 2s and 2s, 4 net hits is a knockdown. So I activate Minx, who due to Furious will get a free charge in against Brain Pan. Doesn't really need the fast ground, but has that bonus movement anyway. Other thing to bear in mind throughout this activation is Hunter's Prey on Minx, which means any model that she damages will also take the snared condition, so they're at -1 defense and at -2 move. So that's attack 9 versus 4s and 1s for a woeful 2 net hits for a momentous 1 damage dodged. Fortunately, that is all I need to leave Brain Pan's melee zone and to engage Skulk, who has the ball. Second attack against Skulk. Now attack 5s versus 4s and 1s. 2 net hits is a tackle. Now Skulk did declare a counter attack, so let's see how that goes. So that's attack 6 versus 4s and 1s of Minx. 2 net hits is a tackle. So that I held the ball for a very, very brief period of time. Last attack from Minx. Attack 5s versus 4s and 1s. 1 net hit is 1 point of damage. And of course Hunter's Prey kicks in, giving Skulk Snare. And due to Back to the Shadows, I take a 4-inch dodge away. Skulk elects not to use his nonsense to come with me. Skulk activates another jog, and Memory does the memory dance. And he unsnaps the ball, snapping it to Brain Pan. He then takes a swing on Minx even, so that's attack 6 versus 4s and 1s. 4 net hits, goes for momentous 2 points of damage. And then uses the momentum generated to take a breather to clear Snared from himself. I activate Grace, who due to Blessing gains +2 influence, and she's already got 3, so she's now on a whopping 5 influence. Let's see what she can do with it. So I jog Grace base to base with Ghast and buy an attack, which cost me 2 influence due to fear. So that is attack 4 versus 3s and 1s. 1 net hit, I take the momentous dodge and dodge myself into cover. Ghast has himself a counter-attack, so it's attack 5 versus 4s and O's. 1 net hit is 1 point of damage. Do-do-do. Grace then attacks again. Attack 4 versus 3s and 1s is nothing. Third attack, attack 4 versus 3s and 1s. 1 net hit is a momentous dodge. And then for the fourth attack, I do exactly the same thing. Lots of dodging, lots of momentum generated, no dead Ghast. I then come on mate on Rage to clear conditions and stand him up. Graves activates and Memory does the memory dance. Graves then charges Strongbox. Do remember the Crucial Artery rule here, so that any damage Graves does will give Strongbox the bleed condition. Poor old Taurus. So that's attack 11 versus 2-2, and it's 6 net hits from Momentous Scything Blow, doing 3 damage down to 2. I activate Mist and jog him to cover. I activate Dirge, Memory does the memory dance, and then Dirge flies over Ghast and lands between Ghast, Rage, and Grace to get involved in that fight. I activate Rage, who bloody coins himself. So that's attack 8 versus the 3s and 1s of Ghast. 5 net hits is a momentous 4 damage and a push, and which triggers Rising Anger on Ghast, giving the Morticians an additional 2 points of momentum. Second attack, attack 8 versus 3s and 1s. 4 net hits is a momentous 4 points of damage. Third attack, attack 8 versus 3s and 1s. 4 net hits, a momentous 4 damage again. Final attack, attack 8 versus 3s and 1s. 4 net hits is a momentous 4 damage, leaving Ghast on 9 wounds. He then uses Come On Mate on Strongbox to clear the bleed and the knockdown. Brain Pan has a jog, no need for the memory dance, he's already in the perfect position. So Brain Pan takes a pass to Memory, and due to 1-2, his kick goes from 2-4 to 4-8, or 2-6 to 4-8 rather. And then Memory will take a snapshot, as it's a teamwork action. And again, due to 1-2, he plays 1 less momentum. Needless to say, 4 dice needing 2 3s, easily done, and that is banged into the back of the net. Bringing the score now to Union 0, Mortician 6, thanks to a memory snapshot goal. It is not looking good for me, your plucky presenter, such as I am, against the lead game designer of Guild Ball. Maybe I shouldn't worry about that too much. So I kick the ball out, and it goes over there. So the end of turn 2, Morts are at +3 momentum, win the roll-off, and elect to go first. Mortician allocation for turn 3 then. Obulus gets 6, Dirge none, Brain Pan 1, Skulk 2, Ghast 3, and Graves 2. I in turn give 4 to Rage, none to Strongbox, 2 to Minx, none to Grace, 3 to Mist, and Fangtooth, who is brought in just at the bottom of the pitch, gets a mighty 4. No idea why though. So Ghast gets us underway for turn 3. He sprints, leaving Grace's melee zone. I elect not to attack him in the process, due to I could really realistically only do 1 point of damage and would trigger Rising Anger, giving him momentum, and I don't want him to have that momentum on the first activation. So he stays within Rage's melee zone, sprinting all the way around Rage and snapping the ball as he goes. So that is a attack 7 with the crowd out from Dirge, from Ghast versus the 4s and 1s and Rage, and he gets enough hits to do a momentous knockdown on Rage. Excellent demonstration of Ghost Shot here. So Ghast unsnaps the ball, seeing he is no longer engaged, and he can do so, and he then takes a pass towards Memory, and it is successful. So he wasn't in range to do the pass, just outside of 6 inches normally, but with that additional range from Ghost Shot was able to do so. Very, very nice demonstration of the power of Ghost Shot there. Gonna have to remember it for Faris. He then uses Take a Breather to heal, which is 3 wounds rather than the usual 4 due to the guild identity card. So I activate Grace, and she gains 2 influence due to Blessing, and I use that influence to attack Ghast, negating Fear. Don't really think I've got anyone that could have got into Memory at this point, as Strongbox didn't have any influence. So it's attack 3 versus 3s and 1s, nothing. Of course it is. No real point delaying this. Jamie's logic certainly at this point, so he uses activates Brain Pan and uses Pulling the Strings to make a friendly Memory take a kick. So that is a successful shot on goal by the little puppet. The Union 0, Morticians 10. Yeah, brilliant. Not going too well at this point, fair to say. I kick the ball out, aiming for missed, and of course give it straight to Ghast. I mean, why wouldn't I? Ghast seemingly a ball magnet this game. I activate Fangtooth and charge Graves. So it's attack 10 versus the 4s and 1s of Graves. 7 net hits is a momentous 4 knockdown and a momentous 1 knockdown. Sit down, Goth. Now due to Fangtooth's Paradise, as I have inflicted a condition, Fangtooth heals 1 wound. Second attack, attack 6 versus 3s and 1s now. 2 net hits is a momentous 1 damage and a bloodier, giving him the bleed condition. Which, due to, again, to Fangtooth's Paradise, I have inflicted a condition, so I heal another wound. Last attack, that is attack 6 versus 3s and 1s. 3 net hits is a momentous 2 damage and a knockdown. I don't heal another wound here because I haven't inflicted a condition. He already has knockdown, so things stay as they are. Boo. Really like that Fangtooth's Paradise ability that Rookie Fangers has in this game. It'd be lovely to see that in Season 4 or something equivalent, just to give him a little boost, maybe. So Graves activates and Memory does the Memory Dance. That's called Control Strings, by the way, if you haven't worked it out. See a previous episode as to why it's called the Memory Dance. Graves then forgoes his advance to stand, shaking the knockdown. He then attacks the Tortoise, so that's attack 7 versus 2s and 2s. 3 net hits is momentous 1 damage and crucial artery, giving him bleed. Another attack, attack 7 versus 2s and 2s again. 3 net hits is a momentous 1 damage after Tough Hide. He then spends a point of momentum for Take a Breather to remove bleed from himself. So I activate Rage, who does the same thing and uses Take a Breather to remove knockdown. I put Bloody Coin on myself, so I got +1 attack and +1 damage when attacking models who are engaged by somebody else, like, say, Grace engaging Ghast. So that is attack 8 versus 3s and 1s. 5 net hits is a momentous 4 damage and a push, triggering Rising Anger, giving Jamie and his Morticians an additional 2 points of momentum. He's already got loads, so what does it matter? Another attack, attack 8 versus 3s and 1s. 3 net hits is a tackle. Oh yeah, there's a ball. Bonus time this one for attack 9 versus 3s and 1s. 4 net hits is a momentous 4 points of damage, taking out Ghast, getting me 2 points, getting me on the board. Last, I won't be 12-0'd. So that's 2 to the Union, 10 to the Morticians after a rage takeout on Ghast. If only Mist had got that goal, it'd be 6-10 now, which is far more respectable. Rage turns his attention to Dirge, that is attack 8 versus 5s and O's. 7 net hits is 5 points of damage, killing Dirge. So all of a sudden it is now 3-10 to the Morticians after a Rage takeout on Dirge. Yes, Dark Doubts does kick in, so I lose 2 momentum. At this point, it is worth noting a few things have happened. Principally, we paused the camera as Jamie had to go and run off and take care of some stuff. It is SteamCon. It is his convention, more or less. That is kind of understandable. However, a couple of things have happened whilst the camera is off. 1, Rage has unsnapped the ball. 2, he's used Furious to charge into Skulk. This is the point where Jamie had to go off again to deal with something to do with Dark Souls, not entirely sure. And when he came back, we had forgotten to do Rage's charge. My bad, should have remembered. Ah well. Jamie activates Skulk and memory does the memory dance. So Skulk attacks Rage, that is attack 6 versus 4s and 1s. 5 net hits is a momentous push double dodge. It's an odd playbook result. Love it. And Skulk runs over to engage Fangtooth. He uses his last point of influence to attack Fangtooth. Attack 6 versus 2s and 1s triggers Gluttonous Mass. I'm not putting it on screen, you know what it does by now. I activate Mist. Mist sprints, snaps the ball, sprints back the other way, and takes a shot on goal. So now it is Union 7, Mortician's 10 after a missed goal, and I cannot help but think what could have been. If only I'd remember that charge in on Skulk. If only Mist hadn't missed that original goal, we could well be looking at 11-10 at this point. Ah, Coises. So I spend the momentum gain from the goal to run the length, dodging 4 inches back towards cover. Morticians kick out and snap the ball to Skulk. So at the beginning of his activation, Obulus has a Shadow-like taking a 2-inch dodge. He then takes a jog to engage Fangtooth. And here comes the shanking. Attack 7 versus 2s and 1s. 5 net hits is a 3 points of damage. Second attack, attack 7 versus 2s and 1s. 4 net hits is a knockdown. Attack 8 versus 2s and 1s, 5 net hits is 3 points of damage. Fourth attack, attack 8 versus 2s and 1s, 3 net hits is a momentous 2 points of damage. So much influence. Fifth attack, attack 9 versus 2s and 1s, 6 net hits is 3 damage and 1 damage. And final attack, attack 9 versus 2s and 1s is again 6 net hits for 3 damage and 1 damage. And that is enough to take out poor old Fangtooth. So there we are, handy viewer, such as you are, Union 7, Morticians 12, thanks to an Obulus takeout on the rookie Fangtooth. I enjoyed that thoroughly, but there is, such a case of, what could have been. But enough from me, let's talk to the man himself. Hello there, handy viewer, such as you are, I am here with friend of the channel, Jamie Perkins, who has just, I think fair to say, well, you've just watched it, beaten the hell out of me at a game of Guild Ball. Jamie, how was that for you?
It was enjoyable.
Yeah. Fine, alright, cool. Horrible to miss that missed goal right at the start.
Yeah, there was just unlucky on your part. It's perfectly fine. Right. Legitimate strategy.
Yes, absolutely, but and even then, I think the game would have probably ended up the same way it was. I felt.
It depends how much pressure you'd have been able to put on me for a second goal.
Yeah.
Like, Morticians tend to. One thing that's great about Skulk is he can help the Morticians with alleviate one of their major weaknesses before him, which is if somebody can score 2 goals against them in very quick succession, then they're not a massive fan of that.
No,
there's not a lot they can do to sort of prevent a third one. They don't like being under pressure because it causes them to lose control of the game.
I have to say I've played Skulk a couple of times now and I've been really impressed by him. Yeah. I really like him because he's a goalkeeper without the same goalkeeper tech as anyone else.
Yes.
Which I really like, and I particularly like this. You know, if I dodge within 6 inches of him,
lightning reflexes.
That is awesome because it stops so much of that missed vitriol, velocity.
Yep.
I'm guilty of doing them at every opportunity because it's an easy tactic for me to use.
So I heard a game earlier today, which was Fishermen versus Morticians. I think it was yesterday actually, where someone was trying out Skulk for the first time.
Okay.
And so Skulk had the ball, so Grayscales came started, I think, in base contact with Skulk, to tackle the ball.
Yep.
And Skulk counter-attacked. But instead of tackling the ball back, because he had lots of influence left, he used his counter-attack to put up, what it's called now, pass control.
Oh yeah, because that's a playbook result, isn't it?
You're around him. So, but at that point, Grayscales can't get away from him.
No.
So he attacks again to try and dodge away. So Skulk stays still. He attacks again, rolls really high, gets his where they go. So he's 5 inches away. So let's go. I'll follow you now.
Nice.
So he lightning reflexes all the way to base contact.
Yeah.
And then Grayscales are like, cool. So I'm not getting away from pest control, and I'm not in range to shoot anymore.
It's funny because he looks quite cheerful on both his artwork and on his on his model. You know, he's quite a happy-go-lucky looking guy. So whenever I've seen it sort of happening, I've had a very brief chat to Sharon about his backstory. So he's not a happy-go-lucky guy.
No. Describe him more as a bit smarmy or arrogant,
and incredibly superstitious with his very, very smelly coat.
Yes.
But I just like the idea of him just following Striker's around, going, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what's that? What are you doing?" It just seems to like pester people around. It's a great thing for like a rat catcher or a guy to do. So yeah. So thank you very much for the game. Absolute pleasure. I got myself a shiny coin for playing Mr. Perkins, which I'm very pleased with. Keynote soon. I imagine there'll be a thing.
Indeed. Looking forward to it. So.
As ever, handy viewers such as you are, I need a better outro. Oh, what's all that about then? Mysterious things will be revealed in the very near future. If in the meantime you would like to subscribe to be notified of the moment this nonsense is uploaded, please to be clicking the beard in the middle of the screen. And if you wish more of my stupidity in your eye face holes, there are playlists either side. And as ever, oh handy viewer such as you are, I need a better outro, but not intros, they're brilliant.